Well, hello, welcome to the John Paine Castle. Please enter for your tour.
Come on in.
So John Paine Castle was actually built in 1896 by John Wells Paine on the original site of the Paine homestead in Troy, New York.
I think you take the car.
You want to go?
You can go.
All right, it was built at a cost of over $800,000, completed in 1896, and we think that today that would be worth somewhere between 25 and 30 million.
The architecture of the house is very distinct. Each room has a different feel based on the travels of John Paine. So if you look through the foyer here, you'll notice that it's in the Italianate architectural design.
Why don't we walk into the parlor?
So this is the parlor, the main room off the entrance of the home, and it is designed in the French chateau style. It is the only room in the home that has painted walls. The woodwork is all painted, typical of the type of architecture that you would have in France. The wall coverings are of fabric, and they are trimmed in a brocade trim. If you look at the mirror, you'll notice that the mirror is done in the French trumeau style, where you would have ornate detail in the woodwork up the top, followed by the mirror underneath. The floors are original to the home, and if you look at the ceiling, you'll notice the mural that's painted on tapestry, and it's adhered to the ceiling, and it's adorned by the oh, I'm sorry, Jim.
It's rolling, come on.
The plaster rosettes.
Very good.
How about you start over, okay?
Okay, where are we going to start?
Hang on, I don't want to do a jump cut. Hang
You're
on.
the one who should give this tour.
I've been doing
All right.
this so much that I forgot.
Okay. All right, go ahead.
So if you look at the ceiling, you'll notice that the mural at the top is done on canvas and adhered to the ceiling. It is adorned by plaster rosettes and detail that has been painted with gilding. Please join us for a tour of the Morris room, which is next.
Oh, here, press that. It's really hot. I can feel it.
The Moorish room is done in a completely different architectural style than the French room. You'll notice hints of Islam in here through the filigree and the lattice work, not only in the chandelier, but also on the wood panels on the lower half of the room. The Moorish architecture is also determined by arches, which are present not only in the upper glass panes of the fireplace, but also on the window coverings as well. The ceiling has leather insets in the center with plaster detailing all around. Walls are covered with tapestry in a damask pattern. Let's move on to the formal dining room.
Dinner is served.
Well, thank you. As you enter the dining room, you'll notice that the style has changed yet again. We are now in an Italianate style, marked by the stone on the upper parts of the walls and deeply carved wood all around. The ceiling is heavily gilded, and the chandelier has just been completely restored to its former glory. There's a balcony up at the top of the dining room where we would have a four-piece quartet performing as dinner guests attended to their meal. We want to make sure, as the Paine house, that they were entertaining their guests in only the finest style. So you'll notice that there's stained glass above above the serving piece, all up above on the ceiling by the balcony. Even the small details on either side of the fireplace. Of special note, there's always a theme with the John Paines. There is a theme of animals.
Yes.
So we have carved wood lions' heads on either side of the fireplace.
On the buffet server, we have 4 of the main food groups depicted. On the left-hand panel, we have fruits and vegetables. The second panel is meats, followed by poultry and seafood.
A particular note is the spectacular dining table that John Paine and his family used during their meals. Enough to fit at least 12 people comfortably. Beautiful china cabinet, glass and mirrors to reflect only the finest china and silver. You might have to pause.
Yeah, I caught it out on Tuesday.
It's a lobster.
You want to do the window? Stained glass window?
Well, I think they're going over there.
Okay. It's okay, guys. Have fun.
So, over in this room, the room we affectionately called the butler's room, was probably more likely a library or office in the home. Come on in. This room has been nearly fully restored. You can see that the lower wood paneling has a nice luster and has been cleaned up. The upper half of the wall has been repainted, and the decorative flowers have been replastered and replaced where they've been damaged. The fireplace carving is very unique and depicts a hunting scene in the tile surrounding it.
Of particular note is the ceiling detail painting, which was completely restored by a restoration artist. It is impossible to tell where the original painting ends and the newly restored painting begins. The chandelier that will be hanging in the center of the room is out for restoration at this point, so what you're seeing is just a temporary fixture in its place.
Including the orange extension cord.
This is original to the home. This is the original casing that was in here, probably handling the ledgers for the home. Everything that was coming into the home, everything that was going out to the home had to be recorded, and they were usually done in ledgers, which would probably have been stored in this case.
And since John Paine was a lawyer, he probably had some legal books in here as well.
Why don't you follow us to the spectacular stained glass window at the staircase. So, welcome to the spectacular, detailed staircase of the home. It spirals up to 3 flights from this main floor, and it's intricately carved with spectacular details, including figures of dragons and owls and snakes, a theme that is promoted throughout the house in all the woodwork. Please join us to look at the spectacular stained glass at the top.
I have a picture. I have almost
Behind me is the spectacular Tiffany stained glass window. that's original to the home, and it was restored in the early 80s to what you see today.
Very interesting to note, by the way, the history of the home doesn't just go back to John Paine, but also goes to some recent times when we had the filming of Martin Scorsese's movie, The Age of Innocence. The reason I'm mentioning this is because the wall coverings in the foyer, in the Moorish room, and also in the parlor were put in through Hollywood for the filming of that movie. Of particular note is the fact that they took a lot of time to match this wall covering to what the original wallpaper was in the home, which is found actually still intact on the second and third floors. Let's take a look at the foyer and the stained glass on either side of the fireplace.
Take all these houses and say, well, that's nobody's going to do that.
Right.
So in the entryway here we have the fireplace and the lovely stained glass on either side. The entryway was made in a way to impress John Paine's guests as they would arrive to the house in a very welcoming manner, and then sure they had an evening of fun and enjoyment.
Thank you so much for enjoying your time at the Paine Castle.
Thank you.
Go.